What's going on, y'all? It's your boy LSR Rod 254 microphone. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me coming through loud and clear. Hopefully, um, trying to get the rest of the fellas in here. Get it started up for y'all, man. Y'all smash the like button. What up, New York? We got a pretty simple format. Me and the guys discussed beforehand. We are not like professional podcaster people, but we're trying to make this happen for the culture. For the culture. So let me get the rest of the guys in here, and we can get this thing started. Get this thing. Uh, yeah. So yeah, this is like a new segment. It's gonna be I guess I'll bring y'all up to speed. This is something that we talked about doing. Due to conflict of schedules and everything, it hadn't always worked out the way we wanted it to. But we didn't want to end the first month of January without moving forward on what we had talked about doing. Um, so, you know, better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Better late than never. You know what I'm saying? We bringing it to y'all. So, as soon as we get the guys in here, we'll get this thing started. All right, there we go. We got Brooks in the building. What is this? What is this plugged into? Hold on. Let me try to do something with my speakers or something.
Man, this lotion ain't do nothing. I'm
I'm
permanent.
trying to see like why can't I hear you through the headphones?
Hold on, my shit messed up. It's me.
I'm gonna have to hold up. What's up, swaps and stuff? What up, E? Why you look so sad? Nah, man, I'm good,
Oh,
bro. I'm in good spirits. I took a nap today.
what'd you say?
I'm rejuvenated.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I didn't hear you.
Let me see.
Does Loco gonna wear
Something is
headphones?
gonna have to be different. I'm not exactly sure what it is because I cannot hear.
You drinking anything tonight, man?
Okay, there you go. I can hear you now. No, no, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. After we do this podcast, I gotta go get back and get busy and be focused. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Like, you can be focused. All right, and there is the
Yo,
third
what's up,
one.
brother?
Let's see.
We
Thing
got
up
feedback at all?
here.
We good?
Uh, there you go. I didn't know exactly how we wanted to do it.
All
But yeah,
right.
so this is episode one of I forgot what I named it. What's the name of
Be right
this?
back.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me. Memory, memory is a terrible thing to waste. Probably because I just came up with it like off the top of my head. I know we jokingly said the three ball guys, but then I grew my hair back or whatever, so we just ended up I just wanted it to reflect, what we, um, what we, what we are. Um,
What's up, New York?
so
Yeah, he tearing it up in there, ain't he?
yeah, so yeah, this is episode 1 of the 3 DIY Brothers podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Way back, wait till Dewan get back from tearing up the kitchen, and we'll get this ball rolling.
All right. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I took a nap, man. I be tired, bro. I get off at 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. Then I gotta be back up at 5:30, get my son out of school. Then I do, my lives on my channel and everything like that. Yeah, it takes a toll, man. It takes a toll.
Damn. My head just
What's up,
did.
Darrell?
Yeah, so yeah, episode 1, 3 DIY Brothers. Hashtag 3 DIY Brothers.
Nice.
Hashtags, for I just came up with it off the head.
Hey,
I
that's
guess
nice
I
in
guess
like more than one way, though.
yeah, like bars, nigga.
Yeah.
In 3 words, bar. But yeah. I know. I was telling them like I know that originally like it was like 3 ball guys, but I copped out.
Yeah, he grew his hair back.
Hair's back. Yeah, I went about that life, so I grew my hair back. But yeah, that way, what I'm saying, it was more relative, and then like as this potentially grows, people are able to find us. Uh, it's relative to what we are about and what we do and what we talk about on here. So, um, where did
Where
Brooks
Brooks
go?
go?
What's up, Darrell?
What's up, Freeze?
Where's all this extra sound?
We got Schaefer in there.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
He said, "We gotta run this man like Birdman."
Yeah, he right over there.
Oh, they seen that.
Yeah, man. He's like, "Oh, you can see me."
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man. No further ado. I have with me my brothers, Cat Logos Garage, and Dewan Brooks. You can follow us all on our social medias, or Instagrams for sure. Cat Logo. I don't know if Dewan. Well, I think Dewan's is the same as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have an actual. Mine is like my government name or whatever. So, most of y'all are familiar with us. The way that we're gonna be doing this, it'll rotate to different channels every week or every time that we do this podcast. We don't know this is gonna be like a weekly thing. Definitely a monthly thing, and then we'll just kind of go from there. First part that what we're gonna do, like we talked about collectively as a goal, is having everybody just tell us where you from, state wise, not city. That'll be a lot. We got a goal to get listeners in every state. So if y'all could just take the time, drop where you checking in from, the state you checking in from, and we're going to annotate that and keep that going until we reach all 50 states, man.
Looks like.
These- All right, so we got Texas,
Ohio in the house right here, just so y'all know. I'm representing.
KC right here.
Oh, are we
Missouri.
Are we counting?
Kansas.
Are we counting us?
I gotta give it up to. I think Ohio. I'll definitely count myself from Ohio.
Okay.
Kentucky. Okay.
I mean, yeah, technically that counts. We are there.
I mean, my
Yeah,
wife
go
probably
Chiefs.
watching.
So you in KC, Missouri, or KCK? Kansas City.
Same thing, cuz.
Okay.
No, they all the same. Don't matter.
But no, you got to pick a state. We're doing it by state, so you got to pick one. We ain't putting two.
Missouri and
You don't get
Kansas is
two
one.
states.
2 states.
No, dog. You don't get
2 KCs, 2 states.
cheating.
Yeah. I rep the Kansas and Missouri
All
side.
right. So since New York is here, you'll get one side of it, and then you'll get the other side of it. So
New York got Kansas, I got Missouri.
so we got Kansas in the building as well as Missouri. Then we got Canada. That's big. Like, we are
International.
Yeah, Mr. John in Canada.
Yeah. We international on the first episode. Look at that. Is there Texas in this thing? Bet. Did I miss anybody? So we got Texas, Ohio, Kansas, Missouri, and Canada. Does that add up? There's 9 people watching.
Did they smash the likes? Y'all smash the likes?
Yeah, y'all smash the like button and y'all make sure that y'all drop where y'all checking in from. If you don't want to, that's fine, but you know.
Had to get my notepad.
be a team player. Yeah, I'm jotting it down here as well. I'm gonna probably just like tack it to the wall right here, and then every time we do it, keep up with it.
So
okay, Mr. Steve-O checking in, H-Town, Texas. Okay, yeah, I missed swaps, Kentucky.
Did you already tell him what the main topic was tonight?
No, we ain't got there yet. We're going.
Yeah, we got swaps in there. Yeah, classic.
Florida?
He in Texas, but he
trying to claim too.
Yeah, he claiming too. I claim too.
Technically.
But I got New York in here with me too.
Where
So
you live at?
So technically, New York could claim New York too.
Where are you tuning in live from? That's how we'll do it. Where are you watching us from in the world?
Yeah, take Ohio off the list. I want to see an actual watcher from Ohio.
Okay, so
we want someone from Ohio to watch, which we don't have yet.
So yeah, friends, co-workers, anybody that be interested in this DIY podcast, man, and that'll help spread the word. That'll help make it bigger. And we'll go from there. So we got Texas, Kansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. Classic is in Texas. What's up, Danny? Danny checking in from where's Danny? And I'm gonna be in the
What's up, Danny?
From the same state. Yeah, I know Gene.
Yeah, Wisconsin in here.
Detroit. Okay, Rich is checking in from Wisconsin.
Southside Jamaica.
NC, but born and raised in Jersey. Okay, so yeah, North Carolina in the building. Yeah, this is not like necessarily where you're from. This is just where you're watching from. With the goal of us getting people to be watching from all 50 states if y'all just tuning in.
Wisconsin, you got that one written down?
Yeah, I got Wisconsin. I got North Carolina. And I think we're good on that. So, moving forward, D. Brooks has the itinerary. We're going to move forward with that.
All right, guys. So, as you know, this is like our real first structured one. So, I'm just kind of going to go over like some of the upcoming events. And was that my thing? The current events. So, as you guys know, we had a lot going on. I've been doing my build, which is the Denali swap and the Regal swap. That's kind of my current events right now. I did a cam in the Denali, and I'm working on the Regal continuously. Loco is still doing 2 LS swaps, right? 2 LS
Yeah, I'm doing
swaps.
2 single turbo LS swaps. 77 Caprice, 86 Caprice. Gonna be lit.
And then
I'm about to take on New York and his LT4 whenever it's ready.
y'all live pretty close, right?
Yeah, we're real close. Yeah.
So that's something we need to see on video. We need to see that on video, the LT4 versus your LS swap.
I mean, all you're gonna see is plates.
Also, LS, he's still doing. He has 3 builds, right? You have 3 builds. You got the Rivy, which is is that kind of a build or kind of not? Are we calling that a build?
That's a budget bill.
That's the leftover from the budget build.
Whatever I got left. Yeah.
And then he still has the truck, which we aren't really focusing on right now, but we have shifted our focus to what? The Caprice and the Cutlass, right?
Yeah, Caprice and the Cutlass.
You got C10 too, right?
C10.
Yeah, and this is C10. Yeah, right now pretty much the focus is Caprice, then Cutlass, then C10, and then the Rivy last.
So it's kind of the current events within our group. Obviously, nationwide, this last week, we had the big accident with Kobe Bryant. Shout out to them. Rest in peace to everybody that was involved in all that. One thing I was inspired by that is to just work hard. I've seen a lot of memes about how his work ethic was one of those things that really set him apart. So I'm kind of taking that and trying to use that in my life as well. So I just wanted to say a little bit about that in the current events. Did you guys have anything on any current events going on right now?
To the backseat off what you were saying about Kobe. I think it was like earlier this week when I had my little like mental breakdown, if that's what you want to call it. Everybody was checking on me, make sure I was good. It was when I seen a quote from Kobe that said, "I have nothing with like losers or something like that." I don't want to misquote it. Let me pull it up right quick. It's on my community page. He said, "I have nothing in common with lazy people who blame others for their lack of success. Great things come from hard work and perseverance, no excuses." So it really kind of gave me a different clarity in how I'm going to proceed on, going forward this year. Things may not always, fall into your lap the way that you want them to, when you want them to. But, you know what I'm saying, hard work and perseverance is definitely what just keep it going. And I mean, I know I preach this stuff all the time, productivity over procrastination, you know what I'm saying? But, even the motivator, you know what I'm saying, needs motivating sometimes. So, with the untimely demise of, Kobe's passing, along with his daughter and those other passengers, it just lets you know that, man, life is short. Don't procrastinate, man, and, work hard and persevere for the things that really.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the whole Kobe thing, it like legit fucked my whole mood up for like a couple days. Like, not like you're like close, but it's like someone you looked up to. And
Right.
He's one of those people where you feel like they ain't gonna die, not anytime soon. So when something like that happens, it just messes you up for a minute and make you reevaluate what's important. And that's basically all it is. Because like me, like I almost died at 32, and that totally changed me. So when people actually die that you have some type of connection with, not even like ain't like Kobe calling you on the phone and shit. But I mean, it still touch you when certain things happen. But R.I.P. Kobe.
And then obviously we got moving on to, not to like press on real quick, but obviously we want to acknowledge that. But we have, a couple new things going on. We got one of our favorite supporters in here, New York. He's dropping videos. If you guys haven't seen his stuff, make sure y'all go check out. He's doing a lot of special features.
Dropping heat.
Bring a lot of sweet guests. You know, I mean, people that that's in our community that I didn't even know about. You know, that's doing the same thing we're doing. So I think it's real cool. So if y'all get a chance to go check that out, I thought that was something worth mentioning in the current events because he's constantly been bringing those. And then, of course, I'm going to be bringing y'all in the current events anything that I know about. I won't be able to keep up with everything, but like any upcoming like races. We got the the YouTuber Showdown coming up. That's coming up very soon.
Yeah, March 7th.
So make sure y'all.
And it's Texas.
If y'all are in that area, or if you're able to get to it and you want to see all those people. It's gonna be huge.
Y'all put a location on it.
In Texas. Make sure y'all check it out.
Yeah, I put a location on it.
What was the name of the speedway? You remember?
Oh, shoot.
Is it just a Texas Speedway?
Phone.
I think it just is.
Texas Speedway, Texas Motorplex.
Where's
my phone?
I'm trying to look it up real quick.
Let me see if I put it on. Yeah, let me see if I put it on my page. Should have been more prepared.
But yeah, I mean, I think LS might be there. New York gonna be there. I'll be there. I think Tall Guy and a couple guys, Rel, Stunner Reese, Dogmaster, Demonology. There's gonna be a lot of big YouTubers there.
Texas Motorplex.
Yeah, Motorplex.
Okay, yeah.
It's called Houston.
Freezy coming out March 7th.
Motorplex, and it's Texas. Hey, Freezer, what was that? What was that event that you said was going on in February? We were trying to think of it earlier, but we couldn't think of the name of it or the date. Yeah, Derail is Texas Motorplex up in Ennis, Texas.
But yeah, if you guys know of any events, you want to shoot them towards me in like Instagram or whatever. My name is in the bottom in the on my video or whatever, my little feed. Just shoot me, like if you guys know any events, shoot them to me, and I'll try to get them into the next episode if they don't come up before then. But as of right now,
so
that's what I got.
He said it's the flashlight shootout. And what day is that? Well, he said
I'm gonna dominate. What, the Elko?
Thank you, New York.
Yeah, New York going to plenty of events this year. Extreme Races Part 29.
To the caveat off the current event thing, man, something that I thought was really, really awesome, man. 50 Cent got his star. And for somebody that, started, just like come from the bottom, you know what I'm saying? Just somebody.
The Hollywood star?
Yeah, he got his Hollywood star. So somebody from, just outside Jamaica, Queens, and it pretty much just an everyday person just like us who struggled and worked his ass off to get where he at, man. Now he got a Hollywood star, man. Shout out to Fifth.
That was dope. I seen that.
Yeah.
Eminem talked with him on stage. It was pretty dope. He even apologized to like Jimmy Iovine. What's the guy's name? Jimmy Iovine or something like that? Levine?
Yeah, I think it's like Jimmy Iovine or something like that.
It's pretty dope. So we're gonna go into the main topic. Who was gonna lead that?
I mean, we can just bring it up.
All right. So we're gonna be talking about like rear ends, gears, suspension. Cat Loco you kind of brought it up to begin with. So what were you thinking about? Like what was your idea with that?
So like I said, I know a lot of people watch the Mr. Get Near video, and he was showing the 7.5 with the 342 gears in it, and I guess Mosier axles, 28 spline. So it got me thinking, like he the main person on YouTube who really be showing rear ends and posies, axles. Memphis Mike just did a video today on his. So I'm just curious, like when I see LS swaps, not too many people mention what they do with the rear end or suspension. Because like with G bodies and box Chevys, like say your shocks. I mean, I don't know what people are running. They run in like regular shocks, air shocks, struts, QA1 coilovers. A lot of people don't really mention what they use. So I was kind of curious about from the suspension to the posi. I mean, are you doing 7.5, 8.8, 9-inch rear? I mean, so I was just curious about that. I guess a Freezer got 8.8.
Me personally, I'm actually running in my Regal. I planned on doing an 8.8. I actually have an 8.8 sitting over to the side. I had heard a lot of good things about the 8.8, especially on the G-Body platform. Basically, it's a good axle for, 600 horsepower. It's not bulletproof, but it, for a basic turbo build, if you're doing like a, even a regular LS swap, it's going to probably hold up. And they were fairly common. You can get them out of Mustangs, Explorers, pretty much anything Ford put out in like the 90s or whatever. And I ended up coming up on one for like $75. Only thing was, it was a 4-bolt. It was out of a Mustang LX. And it did have the posi. I think they call it something else in Ford world. But it has that, and it's like a 3.7. I want to say it's like a 373 or 372, whatever their gear ratio is for that. But I think a lot of people are going with the 8.8 for the simple fact that the price is right, and they're not very wide. If you're going with a G body, at least if you're getting it out of a Mustang, it'll probably fit fairly easy. I don't know what anything about the 9-inch rear ends. I know that's a real popular choice with guys, but it seems to be like the 9-inch and the 8.8, and then if you want to spend real money, the 8.5 or whatever out of like the Grand National seems to be like the best thing you can get, but it's just like it's expensive and kind of hard to come by, at least from what I understand.
That's good, Roger. Yeah, because originally when I first built my my Cutlass, I went with 410 gears. I still got it in a box, and I never put it in. But then, like, when I got to the SWAT world, everybody's like with 373 gears. But I'm not gonna race, so what the hell I need 373 when really I just need a 342. So that's what I'm curious of people just throwing in like 373 just because that's the everybody's saying is, oh, you need this with a 9-inch, or I might get with 342. Because for like daily driving or like on the highway, I think was it Swaps did a video in his turbo truck, and he had, and you see how high his RPMs is way up there trying to be in the highway.
I did see that.
You just burn up your transmission because your gears are too high.
He had mentioned that he was still running like a 3-speed, like a TH300 or 350 or TH400, and he wishes he would have went with like a 480 or something. I think
same thing with a TH400 with no overdrive. Those certain transmissions and certain rear ends are meant for the track. Like Freezer, we know Freezer race, so he running 410s. So like after Mr. Getting there putting that video in, that like totally changed my mind, I think, on what gear I'm going to my Caprices, my Buck Chevys.
Which one did you end up going? You think you're going to go with? You said 342s.
I don't know yet. That's why I want to talk about it, because Mr. John's saying 373 is useless with turbo. Most people like 342, 3.08. Yeah, so I'm thinking like 342 is what I'm leaning on. But see, like, I never heard that until his video.
That makes sense though, because you want to build boost. You don't want to be like, oh, I'm already like, in my opinion, and this is just.
I'm gonna build boost, but I ain't on a drag strip with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, well, not now. That ain't the plan right now.
What's up, Tana? My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, Tana? Mr. Random. Cadillac 91.
Darren.
Cadillac 91s.
Daryl.
Darrell. Yeah.
The-
430s.
Real, real quick, Tanner, where are you watching from? Also Cadillac, where are you watching from? We're trying to get
Yeah.
a accurate count where all our viewers or watchers or listeners are checking in from. Our goal is to hit all 50 states, so we'll do it like at the beginning of every podcast. But as people come in, I'll try to get that information from y'all.
Yeah. So, Mr. John, my setup right now is 6.0 single turbo 480, and then I haven't done my rear end yet on my suspension because I'm still building the engine. Then the other one's single turbo 5.3 480 overdrive.
I'm also running a 480 with overdrive and the Regal. Right now, I'm still running the 7.5, but like I said, plans are to do the 8.8. I just, I'm doing everything as I can, and I haven't really prioritized the rear end yet, just because I want to drive the car sooner than later. So, what do you got, LS?
Um, well, I'm planning I'm planning on doing the 480. Um, and then I got that Fortune's Extra posi unit that I got from Classic. So I'll be running that along with the Moser 28 axle. And 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna go with the 373 gears. The reason that I decided to go with 373 is because it's a little bit more aggressive than what you would have at stock. But at the same time, it's still good for highway and everything like that. I do think it's a sometimes like a lot of people they just they kind of just roll with the masses. Like Loco was saying, they just run something just because they hear that everybody else is running it, and don't they make their bills or they copy their bills off of what's known to work. I'm saying nobody wants to be out here spinning their wheels buying stuff that I'm saying they don't need or having to rebuy stuff, etc., etc. Um,
Yeah, I'm saying, but why people buying track parts for a street car that they literally gonna go to like a club or a grocery store for?
I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty
You know
of
what I
that.
mean?
I'm guilty of that because I feel like the 480 is a little bit like that, to be honest. I drive my Denali with a 4060 in it. Pretty much, it's a 4065, and I mean, pretty much the same as a 4060. And it's got a 6-liter in it. It's all-wheel drive. I mean, it's got 250,000 miles. Now it's cammed, and it's a heavy vehicle, and people act like a 4060 won't work in a light G body that's rear-wheel drive. Like everyone loses their mind if you don't use a 480. Keep in mind, I'm using a 480. That's, I bought into that, but I don't think it's something that is like it's not as like mandatory as people try to make it out to be. Like, oh, you're gonna blow your transmission. You don't have a 480, it's over. Like, I feel like that's the mindset that the majority of the community has, but most of us are building cruisers. Like a 4060 will probably be fine.
And then too, I mean, it's really the combination of your the stall, your torque converter, or your transmission and your rear end, your gears are running. So, I mean, they all got to mesh to work right with the purpose of your car
exactly.
or your build, I should say. Because like Swap said, he has a 342 with a TH400 short tire.
That makes a difference too. Tire, that's their last ratio right there. If you got a tall tire, that
tire size too, yeah. So I mean, like, what is, I don't know. I just got to figure out. I don't know if it's just like experience of feeling the different gears and the combinations.
He has gotten a bad route just because so many people have used them. From what me and Cortez had kind of discovered, or what we noticed that like I think a lot of tuners are doing, like they may or may not be like tuning right, which there is something in the tuning that could allow you, or that could it could pretty much there's something that you can do in the tuning to where it will mess your it will like mess your transmission up. There's a thing in your tuning called torque management. If you and a lot of people don't know that if you take torque management all the way away, like it will. You know what I'm saying, it doesn't manage the torque, and you can mess up your transmission. A lot of people don't go or don't know. Because a lot of people you're not double checking behind your tuner. If your tuner says, "Hey, I take my car to somebody, I pay them to tune my vehicle," I'm trusting that they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying, I'm not second guessing them because they're the professional, they're the speed shop, etc., etc. But me and Cortez have personally seen where there are things that Driveway Engineer has mentioned, things that Goat Rope has mentioned, specifically this torque management that should not be turned all the way off, and it's being turned off. You know what I'm saying, in certain people's tunes. So I don't know if that's the reason why these 60s are going out like that, or the 60 is just not made for the type of aggressive driving that the guys that are doing these swaps are trying to do with them.
I agree. A lot of people are giving it a bad rap. Like another example, I had a Trans Am that had a 4060 in it, and it had tons of miles on it, and probably was driven pretty hard and put away wet, and didn't really have any issues with it. But on the flip side, I had a 96 Impala that had a 4060 in it, and when I bought it, it was already bad. So I guess it just depends on the card you're dealt. I mean, I don't know exactly what makes them go off and what makes them tick. As far as gear ratios, to kind of go back on that too, you said track parts or whatever for regular cars. I had a G8, I had a 292 gear, and by switching to a 345, it made a world of difference. So just in my daily driving. So I can see where people want to get that pep, and that's what the gear will give you. So maybe that's what it just depends on what you want. If you want to be able to just stomp it and spin the tires at any time,
Well, see, see what Mr. John's talking about. So they're saying naturally aspirated 373 gears. I don't know how true that is. Like, are you talking highway, or are you just talking just regular street driving?
Overdrive would be perfect with 373, I feel like.
Yeah, you'd have to.
410 straight drag car with no overdrive. I would assume. I don't know. If you only live in town, you don't go on a highway, it might be fine for your application.
So Danny, NA just stock, basically naturally aspirated, no turbo, no boost. So your regular 5.3 swap. What up, Dre?
He said the sun shell is weak on the 4060. Real quick, Swap says the torque management was there for the life of the transmission. The reason it was not turned up is warranty claims. So basically just to make sure that people get outside their warranty. And so the manufacturer save money. And then
So with the torque management is basically like a fail safe to make sure. Because from the way that I was explaining from me watching Go Road Garage and Driveway Engineer, the way that they were explaining it was that the torque management was there to basically, it have it to where it doesn't just tear up the transmission. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of restricts the power that's putting out or something like that from the engine to the transmission.
What up, Gene?
We got Gene and Dre checking in. Where you?
What's up, Dre and Gene?
What state are you guys from? Or where are you checking in from, right?
what states?
State.
Yeah, what state?
What kind of posi swaps? That's the other thing. You got different kinds of posies too.
What do you mean, like lockers and regular like
Clutch
stock?
gear, worm gear, the Torsen Zexel. I mean, the one. I mean, there's a bunch of them. Because like, let's see. Like, I'm trying to get all this information to make the right choices, and I know a lot of people may not even be aware of these options. So that's why I want to talk about it.
I'll be honest, I haven't even considered anything outside of what came in the 8.8 that I was going to swap in. I figured I would find out when I drove the car if I liked it. That's kind of like, I feel like, I know you like to do things once and have it done right, but I feel like a lot of times if you don't try it, you may not get that opportunity to find out that you like something.
Yeah, but that's an expensive test.
Like, I mean, I'm saying like if you leave it stock,
You know what I mean?
like you leave it stock first, or like you get an 8.8 or whatever
Yeah.
from the yard, and you basically throw it in there with some Mustang wheels just for the time being. You don't change the axles out because the bolt pattern is going to be a little different. And then you say, you know what? I want more gear. Now you didn't spend the money up front. You didn't even spend the money up front, but later on you take that break, you swap the gears out, and then you do your axles or whatever you're going to do then.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying do it now. It's just the planning of knowing what's down the line, or like with these old cars, shocks. Right away, shocks is probably gonna be one thing to change. Brakes is something you're gonna change. Gears, you don't necessarily have to change right away unless you're planning to race, or you want to get some track time in. So I was just curious on what people are running because. Like I said, only a handful of people on YouTube actually mention it, and they don't really go deep into it. Or I don't even know if they just don't do it. So that's what I'm trying to find out.
I think that's part of it too. I mean, I think there's some people that are just not touching it.
All right.
But if you think about it, I know that Cortez just here recently got the posi put in his Monte Carlo. It was like $1,200 altogether. You know what I'm saying $600 for the gears and the posi, and then an additional $600 in labor to have it done because it's something he had never done before. That's something that you don't necessarily want to roll the dice on. You know what I'm saying like I probably wouldn't do my posi.
I feel like
gears and stuff.
The posi is easier than the transmission to work on because you only got so many parts and pieces inside that shell.
Well, yeah, it's only so many, but there are certain tolerances and stuff that it has to be on. Yeah, like it's kind of like valve last where it has to be pretty much dead on. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna turn your gears into like mush. So.
Just be patient.
If I knew if I had like the guidance step by step, like kind of like okay, this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us are visual learners, or if we see someone do it while they're explaining what they're doing, like it's something that we can catch on to, and it's something that we can duplicate. I know that's my learning style, and like if there's a video out there, I'm not sure. I haven't even searched for one. But I definitely know that would make the process easier. You know what I'm saying? And then of course if you have somebody that is close by you or someone that's experienced and has done it before, of course having that experience hand there with you can also help bring the process along as well.
Yeah, and see what Swaps is saying, like a lot of big rim guys. That's why they change gears because they got big wheels and those gears aren't spinning the tires like they should.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference when you're running like a 26 or something. That might put you back to like a 373 when you put a 410 in.
Yeah, because I think Playboy Jeezy on New York's channel mentioned on his 26s.
Yeah, that's
he had to change it.
That makes a difference. I mean, and we have to consider that when we talk about gears in these old schools because a lot of people are doing the big wheels. if you're doing a 15 like me, you know, like it's going to be way different than you running a 24. It's going to be just, it's not even comparable. So, yeah, that makes a huge difference. And if, you know, you're running, you know, drag tires with big tires and stuff like that, that's all going to be variable. Did we tell Dre and Danny and everybody that came in why we asked where they from?
Oh yeah, so we're asking which states that you're watching from, as we have a goal with this podcast to reach all 50 states. You know what I'm saying? We already international with Mr. John, but we're trying to. The goal is to hit all 50 states. So each podcast will ask where everybody's checking in from, and go from there until we hit off. Well, I mean, we'll continue to do it, but the goal is to hit 50 states.
Did you guys?
Yeah, those monster trucks and those the ones that climb those hills are insane.
What kind of gears do you think they're running those?
Rock climbers. I don't even know. And so I'm serious though, because you ever seen those videos where they're like trying to climb up the rocks, and the amount of I can imagine how big gears are in those things.
When I had a Wrangler, because I had 35s on it, they were talking about like 456 gear ratios and like higher for like, because we were running like 35-inch tires, 37-inch tires. So, I mean, it was nothing for you to hear like 456, I think 516. Like these were actual ratios they were putting into these Jeeps. And part of it's because they need that get up and go, but also because they're running 35s and 37s. So just, it kind of just reinforces the same thing with these guys with these 26s. When you put them big rims on, you really lower the ratio down quite a bit.
Seeing lockers is another thing.
456 is, it's 510. 456 is a factory Chevy military ratio.
What up, 87?
So, pineapples, maybe? We were going to have Loco. Loco was going to tell us about the, some, I don't know. Go ahead. You guys go ahead and do that.
We'll now have Logo with the tooltip. Tooltip.
Well, I mean, okay, I don't know if I'm going to show it. I might have to go get it. The whole harmonic balancer video that both of you guys did with the torches. Now, it's been very controversial on using heat.
People hate me.
Yeah, using heat burn up the seals, or allegedly burning the seals causing leaks. So before I even seen the one's video, I already planned on using the tool. It was basically a stud with the washer and the nut, and then you tighten it down to put it on. So look still yeah.
Typo, sorry about that. I got it. That's why I didn't post that one.
So in the comments, I want to know how do people put on their harmonic balancer? How do you install it? Do you go with the heat method? Do you use the stud with the washer and nut? Or do you use just like a hammer and a piece of 2x4?
Disclaimer, we're not recommending that you do either way.
You made the video, you stand by it, damn it.
Right. Lately I've been putting is how I did it.
It works. It works.
It works, yeah.
I saw that the one did afterwards he didn't have any leaks. That's all I need to see. You know what I'm saying? Heat it up, it slide all the way on. There's no second guessing if it's all the way on there. None of that. Put your bolt back on there and torque it to spec.
Well,
Gucci. So for
people
me,
ain't.
that's sufficient enough. For other people, they might need, extra, you know, whatever that it is that they need. So, I mean,
I did it twice. Oh, I did it on my Yukon recently. I haven't dropped that video yet, but did it on the Regal. Oil pressure is strong, and then the Yukon, I've been driving it, and oil pressure is strong. Actually, after talking to Swaps,
is your oil pressure strong with leaks or no leaks?
I don't have any leaks, not from the main seal. I might have a leak from the rear main seal because I didn't do it, but I don't have any leaks from the front timing cover seal. That's clean. Very.
Did you use the black RTV?
You talking about in the creases on the timing cover?
Yeah.
I use the. I think I use the orange.
Because the black is actually the oil one, the one made for oil.
Oh, the
I don't think I use that one.
That you can get at your local O'Reilly's.
Swap said he used the heat every time. Man, we good.
Yeah. See, Frieza uses heat. Let's see. Mean Gene uses stud and washer. Yeah. So the whole nobody's arguing that heat doesn't work because I use the heat on the bolt. They're arguing that like on the actual harmonic balancer,
damage the seal.
No, well, not only a seal, there's rubber inside that wheel. The pull
on the there's like a
but
little
not where you heat it up. That's just metal.
Well, there's a little bit of there's a seal on the harmonic balancer too.
Heat spreads through the metal.
But
it's not going to necessarily damage. It's not to the point where it'll damage it.
Depends on
if you're only heating. If only you're heating the tip. I mean, yes, it's going to expand through the whole piece. I know. When I picked it up, it was hot. What I'm saying, it's not enough. I don't believe it to be enough to where it would, cause any issue.
People bake them in the oven too. People put them in the oven too.
I go buy another one, and then I'm gonna heat that one up too.
Yeah. So like the argument is the heat inside the actual pulley of the harmonic balancer itself, and then the main seal. Because all it takes is a little bit, just a little gap for that thing to leak.
It's true.
So all it needs to do is contract just a little bit, and you got oil all over your pan in no time, and your exhaust and everything.
The Freezer said you mess up the seal. Swap said he's used heat every time, never mess up the seal. New York said have used both. Gene said whatever works for you.
We're all over the place.
Right. Just like the gears.
And like I famously say, man, it's more than one way to do something. So I'm saying do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you have access to. Maybe you only have a torch. Maybe you got you on your last $2, and all you got is a torch. They use a torch.
Be careful with propane. Be careful with propane and MAP gas. It will
explode.
It can be dangerous. So, is that the only tool you want to go over?
Yeah. For now, I think that's the only tool I'm gonna cover, just because we have more episodes.
Right. Yeah.
We are aiming to keep these about an hour long. That way, when people go back to watch them, they're not sifting through 3 or 4 hours of footage. We'll keep it concise. We'll stick to our little format, and that way it'll be every time, up to about an hour in time. So.
Blowing air on it afterwards. I would think.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, air or maybe like a damp rag might cool it down better.
Yeah, the dampening rubber and the balancer also. The way I just put a little lube around the seal, let the seal slide on there and not just burn the rubber up. Too easy. Personal preference, heat expansion works on a lot of tight tires. Just blow air on it afterwards. Is concerned. Yeah, be like.
I think I used welding gloves. Make sure you use gloves. You know.
And Ellis in there with his wife.
Would you use?
I used my wife's oven mitt, yo. I used what I had, yo. I wasn't finna go buy no.
Hey.
Like I wasn't finna go buy no welding gloves, yo.
That's the real reason why he showed it, because he has welding gloves.
He's baking a cake in there. Like, what is it?
Whipping
Hashtag don't tell the trees.
Ain't no way I'm getting caught
I
with these
still don't
oven
think
gloves
she done
out
seen
here.
that video yet. She ain't said nothing to me about it.
Hide the evidence.
Oh man.
But yeah.
Well, at least you're not like washing your like engine heads off in the dishwasher. You know, I've seen people talking about that.
It'll probably work good though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it works, then it works. You know.
But I actually have a steamer too, so you can always steam it.
Front yard and purple power and water hose is what I use.
You can definitely work that way.
Swaps.
Gene checked in. LS
Swaps to your question.
Goddamn right. Cooking up the babies.
Swaps. So I still need a tune. Let me show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick.
What up, worldwide?
So, dang, I didn't put my headphones out. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. So the truck, I've been kind of like I've been driving it, and then last week I put the speed engineering headers on. I'm gonna save this for my channel, but just so y'all know, I haven't got it tuned yet. I just been kind of driving it, you know, not going hard or anything like that, and monitoring all my fluids and making sure my temperatures and everything are good. I'll probably put another set of spark plugs in it because I've been running really rich. My tune is still very, very basic. I just set the idle. I haven't even uploaded the tune that you sent me yet, Swap. So I still got all my check engine lights and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to put my catback exhaust on hopefully tomorrow. And basically, I just got one of the eBay catback exhausts, and I got the speed engineering Y pipe. And hopefully I'll get y'all a video out probably in the next couple days about that. So this is the muffler. It's got like a little saran wrap on it, but yeah. And this is the over the axle part. But it's not all the way dialed in yet. Hopefully I'll be doing an all-wheel drive, the 4-wheel drive conversion, so we can do some burnouts and 2-wheel drive. A lot of info. Hopefully you guys caught all that. Pineapples? That's our code word. Now that you guys know it, it's our code word, so we can get to the next topic. We're just trying to keep our structure going.
All right, well now we'll have closing thoughts or final thoughts. Final thoughts. Oh, that's me. All right, so I appreciate everybody for tuning in to this first episode of the podcast, man. Definitely have some replay value. Definitely have some good conversation topics going on. So I like to leave y'all, you know, on my channel. I got my own little closing slogans, but I didn't want to bring them over here. I want to have something for us. And as DIY people, with a lot of hands-on, you know, a lot of thinking out the box and stuff. So, our slogan or closing thing for us over here will be good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is your better and your better is your best.
Ta-da. Oh, is that what they're doing now?
Yeah, nigga, snap it up like poetry. Yeah, brother. That was that.
Oh man. So,
but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all all turning in, tuning in. Like I said, it'll be rotating between these channels. I think Loco will be passing off his turn. He doesn't do lives, but you know,
I will do lives, but not yet.
Right.
I thought
So
Let us know what you guys thought about the the whole thing. This is our first time trying to do it with like some structure or whatever. So make sure I'll leave that in the comments section. Anything that you think that we should have brought up, we're always interested in the feedback. Of course, if you're on my channel, I give out blocks, but I don't think he gonna do that. We can try to keep it light. This is his channel today, so
yeah, so the next time that we do this, it'll be on the Juan's channel, and then from there it'll rotate. So make sure that you tune in to all of ours. We'll try to give you like more notice. We'll try to give ourselves more notice. That way, we're more prepared to do this, for the community, for the culture here on YouTube for the DIY gang. So that's gonna wrap it up.
peace.
Have a good
peace,
night.
guys.